Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the games from this morning in the LCK and LPL, and then preview tomorrow's LPL playoff series. In predictions, I went 1-1 today. Got the LCK right on the dot, and then coin flipped game 5, giving it to top, and that was wrong. So I'm 296 and 140 on the year. In the LCK, HLE and KT. HLE 13th in the power rankings, KT 4th. KT would win 3-1. Cuz was my MVP. Aiming went 12-8-23 with 29% of KT's damage. Lahens had the best KDA going 1-5-33, so the bot lane actually not doing all that well when you combine them, 13-13 and 56. Viper was definitely trying to 1v9 this series. I mean, he tried his damnedest, going 13-5-12 with 43% of HLE's damage throughout the series. There was a team fight where he had over 10,000 damage and a loss. In a team fight loss. Like, that's a ton of damage on the losing side of things. Him and Aiming really duking it out in these team fights. I thought BDD definitely showed up more than Zeka did. Zeka leaving a lot to be desired. BDD getting a couple solo kills in game one on Zeka and another later on. I thought that Keen did not open as big of a gap against Kingen as I would have liked. I thought that at times he definitely handled him, but there was a game where I felt like Kingen really matched him and actually maybe got the better of the matchup, which you wouldn't really expect. But across 4 games, I guess you could see a split there. However, let's just make sure I'm recording and the audio's working. It is. However, I did expect KT to take this, and Cuz had a lot to do with that. I thought Cuz in the jungle really emphasized Drake's getting the ball rolling, objective control, getting ahead of Clid on ganks, and then in game 4 really carrying, in my opinion. I thought that he played exceptional. He's played very well in the last month or so. Really a key part to KT's success over the last month, the turnaround. I thought BDD played well for the majority. Well, I wouldn't say majority of the split, but there was a moment in the middle part of the split where BDD also turned it around. But Cuz, I think, playing better has definitely given a vibe to this team that it didn't have at the beginning of the split when it did struggle, and we thought Cuz was as bad as Clid. But I think this series and also the series not too long ago between the two teams really showcased how Cuz has separated himself from those bottom tier junglers. Just all around great performance by KT. Viper, like I said, really trying so hard. I don't think life was a massive detriment to him in this series. He versus Lahens, like Lahens is mentioned here, but I wouldn't say life was the reason they lost. I think Zeka not showing up is a big reason why. I do find it a little weird, people really going after Zeka. I think it has come, around that he is meta dependent, which a lot of players are meta dependent. And what I find interesting about the whole Zeka situation is that Zeka gets treated in a way a lot of other players don't. Probably because Zeka had such a highest high and people love to tear down somebody that's like getting overhyped and things like that. But there aren't many players that aren't meta dependent when you really think of it. Like, how many players stand the test of time, meta in, meta out? There's probably a handful in each region. And, I mean, Zeka's already won. So, like, the whole, even the notion that he could be a choker, things like that, really kind of doesn't make any sense because he's already shown up in the big moment. So now he could just not care. Like, at the same time, like, you could say maybe he's getting lazy in the series or this or that. But, like, it's so weird just thinking of, like, how players have succeeded before and now they're chokers, like as if they get scared or anxious in the big moment, and unless it's like self-admitted, I don't see it because they've already shown up in a big moment. What does it matter that they struggle now? Clearly they didn't have the anxiety before about it, so I just think he didn't show up. Simple as that. There are some times where Zeka has not shown up this year. He was my first team all-pro mid laner because I felt like at other times he really carried, and the mid lane meta in the LCK was a joke. When it came to like actually separating themselves, I think I could have made a case for 6 different mid laners in my top 3, I said, and I think that's true. So yeah, a little bit of a tangent there, but we're not going over too many games, so let's get the minutes up on this video for algorithm's sake. LPL, top in OMG, top 12th, OMG 9th. OMG to win 3-2. Shanji was the MVP. Cream, 25-7 and 18, 32% of damage in mid. PP God had the best KDA for OMG, going 4-9-41. Jackie Love, 15-9, 24, 38% of damage for top. So top's 2 wins revolved around Rookie. Jackie Love may have the most damage, but I thought Rookie on the Akali and the Ahri really was the difference maker in their 2 wins. Jackie Love did show up on the Lucian in the first win, I will say that, but in Game 3, I thought it was a lot to do with Rookie. Wayward had a good moment, but at the same time, that was really all top had. And I don't consider top frauds, because this isn't the same team that's played all split long. This isn't the same coaching staff. Crescent has not been with the team for the last few weeks. And the coach in the place of him does not have nearly as reputable a record as Crescent does. And now they're playing Wayward over Qingtian, or were playing, sorry, because now the split's over for them. And I do think Wayward's better than Qingtian in the grand scheme of things, but I've said this, and I'll say it again. If you're going to play Wayward on Gnar, K'Sante, Sion, on Bruisers, then you might as well be playing Qingtian, because Qingtian's better at those champions. And because of that, last week OMG won 2-1 against top, and it was only because of steals, in my opinion. It was not lopsided in the top lane. But in this series, Shanji crushed it. He absolutely crushed it. His Rumble game was outstanding, finding the right time to roam and getting around the objective that set the tone for Game 2, and then would control the rest of the game in the top lane. He outplayed, right now, I think at least 3 times he was outnumbered in top lane and came away with a trade. Like, Shanji played exceptionally. I would argue his best series I think I've ever seen him play. Because this is the playoffs, this is a big moment. It's against top Esports, who, although might be struggling, they do have 3 world champions on their team. This is not a pushover squad, right? So for Shanji to show up at the level in which he did was massive. Very good K'Sante game. His Kennen in Game 5 was massive. Almost dealt as much damage as Cream, but he didn't, so that's why he's not mentioned here in the notes. But he played so well, and I do wonder if Qingtian could have matched that. He is not as good as Shanji, don't get me wrong. I did have Qingtian in my top 3, though, of the All-Pros, and not Shanji, because Shanji, in my opinion, this past split did not play at the level he did today. By no means. And Qingtian played Bruisers better than most people. So it's definitely a puzzling situation for why top ended up in this position. I thought PP God's Thresh was very good as well. Definitely a difference maker compared to OMG last year with Cold in the lineup. Cream, they were banning out Cream left and right, but Cream still finds a way to have impact on his champions. They give him the Akali in Game 4. What an absolute mistake that is. Just not... or it might have been Game 5. Either way, you can't give Cream his Akali. Cream can play the melee champions very well, similar to Zeka. And it comes down to that mid lane matchup in a way. Like, someone mentioned it in the Discord, and I think there's an argument to be made here. Like, Rookie's not washed, but Rookie's on the wrong side of 25 years old. And I've said it before, I said it a lot in my preview videos, I'll say it again for those that might be new. I view player development in the way of your hands are getting better till you're 22, and then your prime is 22 to 25, okay? After 25, the wear and tear of all the games, I'm going to say, just, and this is completely, just an opinion. There's no fact behind this whatsoever. If I had the time, I would definitely look into it, but I don't think the return on investment would be really worth it when it comes to making a video like that. But I feel like after 25 years old, the wear and tear, just you lose a little bit when it comes to hands. But because a player is so experienced, they are 25 years old, they've been playing a long time, and a player like Rookie or Faker or Deft or or you just go down a list of older players that still play at a very high level and are still one of the best players in the role. That does not change. They can play matchups with the same level of skill, just not quite have the same amount of hands as they had before. So after 25 years old, you look at it and you say Rookie against Cream. Cream might be getting the better of Rookie, but Rookie, if you can facilitate, look at Yahoo, look at Faker, look at players like that in mid lane that are still extending their careers at a very high level, playing a slightly different style than they did before. The issue is when you have a revolving door in top lane between Wayward and Chingtian, and then you have Jackie Love being inconsistent in bot lane, you cannot carry as a facilitator quite as much as you would with your hands otherwise. And Rookie did show in the 2 wins that he played very well on the Ahri and in the Akali. But, over the 5 games, he's playing Lissandra quite, can't get it done. It's unfortunate for Rookie. I think that the coaching situation has really screwed top. I think the top lane screwed over top, and I think Jackie Love really didn't show up this split. But we'll get into that sort of stuff, I guess, in the summer previews in April, June, May or June, or whenever the summer split's going to start. But yeah, so Shanju's MVP, OMG getting the better of them in Game 5. Sneak peek for tomorrow, LPL, BLG, and Weibo. Billy Gaming 11th in the power rankings, Weibo Gaming 7th. BLG coming off of a win against RNG yesterday. Weibo's final series of Spring Split was a win over Rare Atom. In Week 3, BLG would win 2-1. Bin was voted as the MVP on the Discord in that one. I could argue that might not have been, should have been the case, just based on stats. I didn't rewatch the series, but Bin went 7, 10, and 16 with only 16% of BLG's damage. The Shy across from him went 12, 13, and 12 with 28% of damage. So a little bit of a diffy in the top lane there when it came to impacting the damage charts. The Shy dying a bit more, but also getting more kills. That top lane matchup is very, very important. You got 2 of the top, some people may say 2 of the top 5 top laners in the world. I have the Shy bordering that. When he's at his best, he's the best one in the world, but he can't do that anymore really. So I guess he's just allergic to playing well consistently. Bin in a similar boat, but Bin does try and carry BLG to the best of his ability. Now, as far as the other roles are concerned, you got Tian and Shun, Karsa and Shun, 2 very different junglers. Shun a carry, Karsa a facilitator. Mid lane, Jiaohu and Yagao. Jiaohu much better than Yagao and a very, very good facilitator. And then in bot lane, I think it's close between Light and Crisp and Elk and On. I think Light and Elk are both in my All Pros. I think that they're both exceptional players. And then Crisp is playing very well, and On has done his job at a high level. So I think this one's going to be a good series. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a supporter, and thank you for watching.